Well, ask and you shall receive. I will be completely transparent at the start of this and say multiple people asked me, hey, Tookie, go back through the AHL and other leagues after you mentioned not wanting to in your most recent roster update review of the NHL. Enough people asked for it. One person in particular, shout out to Cody, loyal viewer, both here and on Twitch, even threw money at me saying, I want this video. So here we go. We're going to go through this. Why not? And for the most part, I mean, going through the AHL and for junior, the conversation is potential, right? Like, that's pretty much what you're discussing. And, you know, we'll see how we feel. Now, immediately, for as much as people called me, let's go with bias. Let's go with bias for thinking that Jeremy Swayman deserved a good rating. If Stuart Skinner's a medium elite, or Stuart Skinner's a medium starter, Jeremy Swayman's a medium elite. That's all I'm going to say. We could really get into it. Like, the problem is with a lot of these guys, right? It's like you want to sit there and look. It's like, okay, what have they done since? And that's honestly the way that I tend to roster edit, right? It's like, okay, say Max Gilden, for example, 3rd round pick. What has he done since, though? Did he do really well in the NCAA? Is it worth bumping him up from a medium 6 to a high 6? Did he destroy the NCAA? Is he now worth a medium top 4? You gotta base it off of their trajectory. And at the end of the day, there's nobody here I am really gonna complain about. At the end of the day, like, yeah, you're gonna get some wrong, right? That is what it is. Like Tyler Benson should probably. God, low top 6 potential just sucks. It really does. Medium 6 or a high 9 for Tyler Benson. I'd probably go medium top 6. I think that's what I had done with my custom rosters in the past. So that's not really all that surprising. But like I said, for the most part here, I think we're just going to look for anybody who really kind of stands out to me as like, that's their potential, huh? There you go. Vitaly Abramov and Logan Brown, still both medium top 6s. Granted, Brown was a 1st round pick, but that's one of those ones. See, like Jack Kopaka, for example. You could probably adjust that. Number 1, 4th round pick. Secondly, Jack Kopaka has not played an NHL game. That's just, it's a potential like that when you get to someone like, Jonathan Davidson's not a great example, but you get to other players and it's like, okay, that's an incredibly low potential. What's up with that? And the general rule of thumb, of course, that I use in editing, right, is like Lassie Thompson, 1st round pick, medium 4, that's perfectly fine. But, kind of base it off of the rounds and then adjust it from there on how players do. But, yeah, there have been some brutal ones. Kevin Mandolese deserves a little bit better than that, doesn't he? Look at the hair. Look at the eyebrows. Come on now. Come on. What else do we got here? Shout out to Jeremy Brodeur. Devils draft pick. Still hanging around. It's not too bad, I do suppose. Like Kevin Ball being a low 4. It's like, why don't you just say you don't think he has a chance of making it? Even though he did actually get called up. So, he got some playing time in there. He did. Okhatyuk is the same thing. Like, giving 2nd round picks low 4, low top 6 is just a nightmare. And something I wouldn't do and don't do when we actually edit this. Nick Merkley, you could certainly debate the medium top 6 at this stage. Might be a little bit overrated at this stage. It's a tough call. Shout out, call him friend of the channel, AJ Greer. I played AJ Greer in a versus game on the Twitch channel once upon a time. Good guy. Nolan Foote, yeah, can't disagree with that. He's played for the Devils this year too, so really can't disagree with that. Schnarr has a low top. Why? Why, though? It's like, well, he's a part of the Taylor Hall trade, so we got to make it work, I guess? I don't know. Bridgeport, now the Bridgeport Islanders. So stupid. Like Timoshov's overrated. That's pretty straightforward. Simon Holmstrom's fine. What else do we got here? Who else? Boy, they are, that's a little bit barren in terms of good prospects, huh? Sheesh. Hey, at least Bodie Wild still has a medium 4. They haven't completely screwed him over yet. Got that going for him. Yeah, for goals, good old Ken Appleby. Jesus, that guy's been around for a long time, and he's only 25. Skarek is a medium backup. At least give the guy medium fringe, right? And that's the thing. You might say, like, oh, what's the big deal if Skarek's backup or fringe? when you think about how many instances there are and examples like that, it adds up and drastically changes a franchise mode the way it plays out. I don't know if Noah Juulsen's worthy of a medium top 4 anymore, but sure, why not? Shout out to former UMaine Black Bear Brady Keeper. Good old Brady Keeper. Who do we got for forwards here? Good old Charlotte. Scott Wilson, Sorella. Heponiemi, surprised he didn't get a bit of a boost since he's gotten some playing time. Does Henry Bolby have a picture yet? He doesn't. Shout out to Bolby. Chicago, Yegor Korshkov. That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Why didn't they just keep Yegor Korshkov a low 9? Or not a low 9, a low 6, because he's a second-round pick. Like, there's no consistency in what they do. Nothing. At least Dominic Bach still has a decent enough potential, but damn, man. Damn. At least they gave Stelio. Stelio got a good potential, even though he was a third-round pick, and I agree with that. He's been very good since being drafted. And you have Jamison Reese, who's like a high 9. It's like, where is any sense of consistency with these ratings? Joey Keane was relatively highly touted. I mean, you think when he was swapped for Gauthier, it's like, oh, maybe I'll give him a half-decent potential. Nope. Bebo, Beck Warm. Surprised they didn't give Beck Warm a slight boost since Carolina ended up signing him. Cleveland, Kivlenieks, Thiessen, Cam Johnson. You got on defense, Clendenning. Andrew Peak being a low 4. I'd put him in a medium for sure. Wyatt Newpower. What a name. Some of the names I haven't been familiar with since I haven't really been paying attention all that much. Adam Haluka. Ryan McInnes. Good old Cliff Poo. They still kept him with a half-decent potential. Good old Trey Fix-Wolansky. Struthers. Colorado. Sherwood. TJ Tynan. Magna Drees. Fortan. Martin Kaut still has a half-decent potential. They still get a decent potential for Shane Bowers. Mike Vecchione, my ultimate go-to for just because someone's an NCAA superstar doesn't mean you give them medium top 6, medium elite out of the gates. No disrespect, Mike, but, for all the people saying, oh, you overrated this guy. Well, in a lot of cases, underrating works out quite well, too. At least, in certain instances. Connor Timmins, that's not bad. I mean, he got play time with the Avs. Decent enough potential. I'm surprised they kept Gilbert with that potential, personally. Oh, Brett Lernout, you Viking, you. You absolute Viking, you. Adam Werner, medium 4. Hunter Miska's a low backup. See, Adam Werner and Hunter Miska having these ratings, though, neither are NHL caliber goalies. And that is, without a doubt, my biggest issue. EA having Kevin Boyle at a 78 is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Dennis Cholowski, Lashoff, McElrath. Oh, good old Joe Hicketts. Charlie D'Astus. Tori Dello. See too many Tories. Giovanni Smith. Taro's there. Taro, too. I mean, he's someone out of the NCAA. It's like, hey, super good rating. But it's like, has Taro really made that big of an impact for Red Wings fans? I don't think so. He hasn't been brutal. He's been better than, Vecchione. Chase Pearson, another former UMaine Black Bear. Love to see it. Hayden Verbeek. Max Humitz. God, the names. Hartford, Brodzinski, Anthony Greco. Hold on, we got to check. 88. Never forget, at least in the AHL, he had a faster speed rating than McDavid. All the more reason as to why there needs to be... you'd think puck control would factor in McDavid-esque speed, but also having the puck. I don't know. It is what it is. Tim Gettinger, Morgan Barron. What else do we got? Tyroning still rocking a medium 9. Never let the dream die. Of course, they ended up with a lot of random NCAA dudes. Darren Radish, Rykov. See, Yegor Rykov, they're just screw it. He was touted at one point and then didn't really work out, but still. Brandon Crawley, Geertsen. The flow on Mason, though. Adam Huskas. Yeah, Adam Huskas is one of those guys. It's I don't disagree with that potential. Same thing with Tyler Wall. They're later picks, though. But where's the consistency? I just don't get it. Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson deserves a better potential. At least last I remember of his stats, he was solid. Yuri Patera. kind of getting shafted. He was decent in junior. Dahlstrom, Schultz, none of these guys really matter. And I haven't seen too many ratings where I'm like, okay, this is egregious, you know? Although Connor Corcoran, if I'm not mistaken, off of what he's done recently, deserves a much higher rating. Without the stats in front of me, but just from what I'm trying to remember from editing him earlier in the year before I lost my file, yeah, he's getting shortchanged for sure. Position, Goalborn. Shout out to Goalborn, who remembers the Hut series where he was a superstar for us. A superstar. Yeah. Again, there are potentials there I disagree with. Conrick Michael, overrated in terms of being a 76. My argument when editing, make him like a 72, 74, but he deserves medium elite. You look at what Conor McMichael's done since getting drafted, like, good lord. There's a very good chance the Caps have a stud on their hands, or he might not make it. Guess what? That's called hockey. Janssen Falby, Brett Leeson. Brett Leeson hasn't done much. I haven't seen his AHL stats this year, but his first rookie year in the AHL was bad. It was not good at all. Shane Gersich still has a high 6. No disrespect to Shane Gersich, but what the hell is that? You know? Cody Clark and oh, cool. When did they add Clark and Sutter back in? Because the start of the year they were out again due to licensing issues. Well, that's cool. Shout out to Paul Ledoux, Alex Alexiev, Martin Fehervary. I mean, for the most part, yeah, I can't really disagree with Will Grabber. Well, that's, please don't. Phoenix Copley, him being an 81, really. Good old Zach Fucale, surprised they didn't keep him with a medium starter after all these years. For Iowa, Derek Barabo, Hunter Jones. Hunter Jones is about right. For the defense, good old Matt Bartkowski, Ian McCoshen. Addison in the 74. I'm certainly intrigued to, and I think maybe that might have been why people wanted me to do this, because they're if he keeps looking, he's going to get the itch to roster it again. And you're right. But will I? It's May. How much time would we really get out of it? Not much is the answer. But then again, if I were to edit, oh God, you guys have done it. If I were to edit at some point over the summer, when NHL 22 presumably comes out, I'm hoping it's September or October again. If it's delayed, I would know exactly what changes I need to make. There's a very good chance I'm going to roster edit over the summer. Shit. Oh, the hooks are back in. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's happening. Jordan Wheel. Ryan Paling's still getting shortchanged. Why does he get a low 6 even though he was a first-round pick? I think it's still fair that Ryan Paling should be a medium 6 as a first-round pick. He's only 21, maybe 22 at this point. That's someone who got shortchanged. That's I don't understand it. Good old Yessi Lanin. Oh, Arsen Kizamudinov. Gotta love it. Pizzetta's there. Good old Teasdale. Oh, Xavier Wallet. Cale Fleury's rocking a medium 4. Josh Brooks still rocking a medium 4. Toby Paquette Bisson. Oh, Caden Primo to medium starter. See, I'm just throwing it out there. Caden Primo, 7th round pick. Why does he deserve medium starter? Oh, well, since he got drafted, he's better than a high AHL top 6. Jeremy Swayman, then. You see my point now? For anybody watching that first video, it's oh, Turkey's bias. Yeah, that's a sticking point for me. I'm not salty about it. I'm not upset. I'm just saying there's the fault in your logic. Charlie Lindgren's massively overrated. Good God. This is what I'm talking about. Charlie Lindgren should not be a 79. There's no flapping way. Alex Lyon, good old Zane McIntyre. Hey, he's the guy that people were pissed off that I said was going to be good one day. Even though if you look at his stats, it's because, yeah, he had a chance at being good. And then he wasn't. Zach Fucale. That's how goalies work. Derek Pouliot. Sam Morin, again, it's a shame you can't have left wing, lefty. If I were to edit this, I'd probably put him at wing, just because it's a little bit more fun. And I feel like if you put him as a left wing enforcer, he's more likely to get played on the Flyers' 4th line. So, Jaegor Zamula only having a medium 7th is surprising. He was undrafted, but he's done well since. Again, speaking to adapting. Andy Andreoff, Wilson, Ryan Fitzgerald has a high. Why? Why, though? That doesn't make any sense. Shushko, Ratcliffe, David Kasha. Pascal LeBerge, I feel sorry for that kid. He just hasn't been able to put it together. Wisdom, looking okay. Millman. Ralph Kademi. We got a Manitoba. Gustafson. I mean, why isn't he a low 6? You know? Cole Perfetti at least has a medium elite. Honestly, for Perfetti, I'd probably put him at a high 6 instead. Yeah, he was one of those guys that's like, maybe he'll go top 5, and then he fell to 10. So, I mean, some sort of factor. Hey, this is, maybe a little bit of an overrating at this stage. For the defense, Ville Heinola, I can't disagree with that. Leon Gawanke, I think, deserves a better potential. He's been solid. Oops, well, hey, back to the beginning. Definitely not looking through the ECHL, by the way. I'm sure there are some names there, but for the most part, there's nobody. Nobody. Dylan Sandberg, Nelson Nogier, Kovacevic. He probably deserves something better. He was good in the NCAA. Declan Chisholm deserves a higher overall as well, from what I recall of his stats. Hayden Shaw. Mikhail Berdine, kind of overrated. Cole Keller, Svilofs. Milwaukee, Connor Ingram. Connor Ingram's a weird one. I don't know if he should be a medium starter. Like, he's been really good, but apparently there's issues surrounding that. I don't want to speak to what they are because I don't quite recall, but it's a weird situation with him. Connor Ingram is a good debate as to why there needs to be an NC or an NBA style ceiling and floor potentials. Like, at best, Connor Ingram's a low elite. At worst, he's a medium AHL starter. And then he ends up being somewhere in between. Or one or the other. Like, that would be nice. Because who the hell knows? Scotty Savage rocking the Maine Mariners jersey in that picture. Love to see it. Love to see it. Rem Pitlick with that potential. Could argue for a little bit higher. He was really good in NCAA. Mike McCarron. I mean, at least he's not anything better. I think Thomas Novak still has a duplicate for what people are telling me. Oh, let's see. Lucas Craggs. Surprised he doesn't have a better potential. He got chances right out of signing in the NCAA. Oh my God. He's directly... Are you serious? He's directly on the same team. Yay. No. 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 Oh my God. They still haven't fixed it. I didn't realize they were on the same team. I figured Novak was... one Novak was on Florida or some shit. Maybe I won't roster edit because I'm sorry, and I don't think this is unfair to say. How does that happen? Unless whoever does this and takes care of this has 3 other responsibilities. You can't necessarily say I have pride in this. Can you? Do you? Look at this. Ontario, Martin Furk, how good's your slap shot? 91. That's good at least. Kaliev, I agree. I agree with that. Turcotte, I agree. I agree with that. Kapari. Yeah, for the most part, I agree with these. It's cool to see DSP back in, by the way. Blaine Byron, another former UMaine Black Bear. Went to school with my girlfriend. Brett Sutter, Akil Thomas, Michael Isamont, Samuel Fogamo. Again, why not the low 6? Tyler Madden got screwed. He deserves a better potential than that. There's a reason why Canucks fans were like, ooh, okay, we're giving up Tyler Madden, huh? So, yeah, there's some potential to definitely disagree with there. Gail Clegg, not bad. Dursey. Again, why does Dursey have a medium 4 and not a low 4? Where's the consistency? What's the difference between him and somebody else? Especially, too, he's the guy who's been traded. Austin Strand, I mean, I like the guy. Former Seattle T-Bird, but, I mean, I don't know. I'd put him at least a medium 7th. Give him a chance. He's been pretty good, from what I recall in the AHL. Berube, Matt Villalta. Providence, here we go. Dan Vladar. Medium fringe, minimum. Kyle Kaiser. Honestly, low fringe is probably a bit high. Medium backup to high AHL starter. And then Callum Booth was, drafted by the Hurricanes. I mean, if he's a 65 at 23, so it doesn't matter. You could probably just go medium fringed based on where he was drafted, and it's not going to matter. Urho's solid, probably overrated. Jack Khan looking decent. Oh, boy, their defensive situation's awful. Stud, looking pretty good. I don't hate that. Paul Carey, Lantosi. Senyshyn, again, it's the argument of if you want to keep him with that top potential from where he was drafted, that's fine, because at his age and overall, he's not really going to make it anyway. Lauko, someone else where it's like, okay, since he's been drafted, he probably deserves a little bit higher. Oscar Steen has quads the size of freaking tree trunks. It's ridiculous. I don't hate that potential for him. It could be a tiny bit higher. Pavel Shen, Matt Philippe. I mean, yeah, there are some where it's like, okay. Rochester, Ellie, Fogarty, CJ Smith. I mean, a lot of these guys, it's just like, hey, do they have some NHL experience or whatever? Shout out to Jack Quinn for at least being half decent. They got that one right. Can't complain too much. Biro and DiPietro, I'm surprised they didn't get a little bit better. Mathieu Picard is okay. Arttu Ruotsalainen, that is egregious. That is egregious. He has at least 5 goals this season. I know, because he scored his 5th one against the Bruins. How is he a 64? Not to mention he was decent in Liga before coming over. Elite Prospects is running slow right now. That has to be one of the most egregious ratings. That guy should be like 10 overall points higher. That is brutal. Ruotsalainen has 6 points in 17 games, 5 goals this year. As well, last year in Liga, 43 points in 44 games. This year in Liga, 17 points in 19 games. That is egregious. He is a close to top tier, if not top tier player in Finland. He should be low to mid 70s to be somewhat competitive at an NHL level, especially because he's younger and still has a chance. So yeah, that's absurd. Samuelson should be a low 4 minimum, medium 4 arguable. That's ridiculous. Fitzgerald and Loxonen, that's fine. That's the minimum I'd put them at. And then Tokarski should not be a 78. Luukkonen, I agree with the medium elite personally. Shout out to Michael Hauser. Rockford, Delia, whatever. That's an overrating. 100%. Nick Padan, I'm good with that. Shout out to Cody Franzen kicking around. Chad Chris, I mean, someone else who was decent as well. You could argue for a little bit higher than what we see there. What we got for the forwards? Brandon Peary at a 79. No, 79 is indicative of someone who's like a third-line guy. Brandon Peary's not a third-line guy. And again, like the reason why is like, okay, his offensive skills should be better, but his defense should be terrible because that's the reason why he's not in the league. At least not full-time. Oh, Quenneville, Entwistle, Tim Soderlund, Gabriel Gagne can probably be dropped at this point. Altai Barmakian, I mean, it's the minimum of what I'd put him at. Evan Barrett as well, someone else who did really well in the NCAA. It's like, are you not going to reward people for improving? Tepley, bare minimum of what I'd give him. Maciej Halupa, undrafted, gets a medium bottoms. I mean, sure. All right. Oh, Chad Yetman, Cole Moberg, who goes back and forth between defense and forward. I think more recently he was a defender. Don't quote me on that. Sonny Milano still gets a medium top 6. Okay. Carrick, Lettieri. I mean, could argue some slight overratings here. B.O.G., Benoit, Olivier Groux. Again, not bad. Jacob Perreault, getting something half decent. Jack Bedini. Like I said, I mean, you'd give him that based off of when he was drafted. You could adjust it from there. Brendan Gooley, overrated at this point. I don't think Brendan Gooley should be an 80. I don't think Andy Walensky should be a 78. Love the flow on Trevor Carrick, though. Jeremy Waugh probably shouldn't have that medium 4 anymore. I thought that guy was going to be really good, too. And who knows, maybe he still puts it together. Cody Curran gets a 71. So, see, Cody Curran gets a 71 after coming over from overseas. But Ruotsalainen doesn't get a higher overall. Also, Simon Benoit, you could jack up that rating a little bit. He made his NHL debut. You see the lack of consistency here. Things just don't add up. They don't. Lucas Dostal, 3rd round pick, so you could say in theory a fringe. But guess what? Lucas Dostal's been sick, so yeah, he gets a higher rating. That's how it works, but it's not, because that's not how they do it all the time. It's just, it's a headache, guys. It's a headache. Ryan Merkley still has a medium elite. I disagree with that. It should be a low elite. I think he's the perfect player to be a low elite because it's obvious. Like, he has a high ceiling in terms of on ice, the talent there. But, yeah, there are some apparently personality issues that stand in his way. Maxim Latunov, Alex True. I feel like this was just them being like, well, San Jose is going to play these guys on the fourth line. Let's jack them up a little bit. I mean, I like Sasha Chmielewski, but medium 6, I don't know about that one. Chikovic, I don't know about that one. Man, someone's a Sharks fan. Curtis Gabriel, 75 discipline. Okay, it's lower than that. 80 fighting skill. How Curtis Gabriel's not listed as an enforcer at this point, I have no idea. Like, that's all he does. He has like 50 some odd penalty minutes in like 11 games this year. I looked at goalies first, right? Yeah, I did. John Gillies. Like John Gillies, fellow Mainer. Drastically overrated there. Drastically. They have 4 defensemen. All right. Oh, Mitch Reinke, Santini, Jake Dotchin's probably overrated at this point. Surprised they didn't have to take Kostin out because he's been over in the KHL, but okay. Sure. I mean, I guess it's because he's on loan, but still, just one of those interesting ones. Suppose is the way to phrase it. Mr. Phillips. Good old Matthew Phillips at a 74. That's not that bad. Tolola, Kirkland, Luke Philp, Ruzicka, Colton Beck, Dmitry Zavgorodny. I mean, I'm not seeing anything too ridiculous here. I'm sure there's some stuff that I would disagree with. Michael Stone shouldn't be an 80 anymore. Petrovic at a 77, or Petrovic, whatever. Pullman. Yeah. Good old Coltrane Wilson, though. Zagadulin. Hey, they have a picture for Artem Zagadulin. How nice. How nice. Tyler Parsons. I don't know if he should be a medium starter anymore. I don't know. Sam Montembeault at an 80 is an overrating. Chris Gibson at a 77 is an overrating. Spencer Martin at a 75 is an overrated option. Shout out to Tyler Johnson's hair. Freddie Clayson, Borgman. I mean, again, for the most part, these guys are replacement level. Sean Day at a medium 6. I mean, I can't disagree with that. It could obviously be lower. John Ludwig, if I'm not mistaken, was decent in junior, too. I'm surprised he's not slightly higher rated. Taylor Radish gets the medium top 6 treatment. Good old Cristobal Nieves. Boris Kachuk. Antoine Moran still kept that potential despite the trade. Interesting. Peter Abadanato deserves slightly higher potential than that. Give him a chance. Good old Sarah Noel, Jimmy Huntington. Oh, boy. So I'll tell you what. We'll leave this at the AHL. And if people want to see juniors, I'll go through juniors as well. But I don't want this to be an hour. I don't have time. Anyway, it's taking longer than I thought. Rhett Gardner, Adam Masherin, Riley Tufte. No picture for Riley Tufte. He's been in the game for like 2 years. What the hell's up with that? Come on, EA. Get it together. Player pictures mean a lot here. And if, well, we can't do player pictures, that's why you do an in-game render of their face. But we have generic faces for everybody. Exactly, so get pictures, Jake Slaker. Honka still keeps the medium 4, okay. Ben Gleason, Thomas Harley, Harley Thomas. Luke and Max Martin. Rosberg being a 62 is crazy. He was decent in the NCAA, if I'm not mistaken. Same with Colton Point. Tomas Scholl. Toronto. Vevalainen in a 76. I don't know about that one, Chief. Even Joe Wall at a medium fringe. Like, I'm sorry. For me, Joe Wall's a medium starter. And yes, certain other goalies, Swayman, gets bumped up. Ian Scott, I don't know about that one. I haven't seen how he's done this year, but obviously he missed all of last year due to injury. Sandin at an 80 high 4, that's fair. Honestly, Rasmus Sandin, you can argue medium elite, and I wouldn't disagree. I think you should probably drop Timothy Liljegren off of medium elite. It's a low elite at best, medium 4. Kivihalme, Rosen, Hoffenmeyer, Joe Dushak, again, another guy where it's like, hey, he was really good in the NCAA, but doesn't exactly translate so far because he's pure offense. Stefan Nason, Joey Anderson, Nick Patan. Any ridiculous ones? Nick Roberts. I'm surprised Nick Robertson, I disagree with that. Overall potential could be higher. For sure. Definitely disagree with that one. And then, of course, they just got a lot of their random fill-in players. Colt Conrad's a great name. Barrett Hayton. See, Barrett Hayton, it feels low. A top 5 pick. Might have been slightly off the board, but that's a top 5 pick. His overall's too high and his potential's too low. Freddie Gauthier, overall's probably too high. At this stage, good old Steenbergen. Yeah, there's just so much that not even that I disagree with, that I just feel like is objectively incorrect. Where I think 95% of people could agree, like, yeah, that probably shouldn't be that way. And who knows, maybe that's a stretch because, well, certain people don't have the information that you've looked up and, you formed your opinion based off of this information. And it's like, well, that's why you don't base ratings off of base value, I guess. Oh, Prosvetov at a low fringe is, come on now. Connor LeCouvy, Maine Mariner. And we have Utica Comet, still going to be around, but now with the Devils. Micah DiPietro should not be a 77. That's absurd. No doubt. Brogan Rafferty, Guillaume Brisebois. Jet Wu still got a medium 4. I'm good with that. Sven Barrage get a 79? No. He's still a great player, but obviously no. Bailey's probably too high. Cole Lynn's overrated in terms of overall right now. Jonah Gadjevich, again, someone who gets like the short end of the stick. Like, why is his potential drop compared to other people? And of course, there's no explanation for it. And I guess the argument would be like, well, what, do you want an explanation for why every player is rated what they are? Yes, I do. I think we all do, especially if you're half an hour into this still listening. But again, it was requested. So here we are. Johnny Gruden, 66. He looks like another player, and I just can't put my finger on it. Kyle Olsen. Oh, sweet goatee on Mikey there. P.O. Joseph at the 78. He started off this season so hot. I can't disagree with that. Churchman. Sweezy. Camley. Camley is a really good NCAA option, I believe, that they picked up as well. That I'm intrigued to see how he did this year. Lagasse at 75. I mean, he got that shutout, so why not? Yeah, overall, it's just not. It's not good. It's just not. Juniors would take a while. I do want to quickly check. Let me go to Rogel. Yeah, see, Moritz Seider at a medium 4. There's no way. 80 overall, I think, is a bit much because he hasn't done it at the NHL level. You put this kid at a 76 medium elite, I agree wholeheartedly. He had an amazing season over there, and he has done nothing but show that he was worthy of that 6 overall pick, if not more. So that's someone where you look at that and you're just like, come on. Like, clearly you could and should rate this guy more highly. So if you somehow want more of this, and again, I guess I owe it to Cody. I think he requested not just the AHL, but everything else. So the juniors, and I guess we could go through the SHL and Liga unless there's anybody egregious, but this is practically torture for me. Because, yeah, it's not good. But like I said, I can't help but think at this point I will go back and roster it at some point over the summer in preparation to be able to do it all over again for the beginning of NHL 22. And again, God willing, there's roster sharing. I won't have the issue of losing my files anymore, and you guys won't have to go off of an editing sheet. You could literally just use the rosters that I have, which would be pretty cool. For now, thank you for watching. We'll be back soon. I'll catch you then.